this turns out. I can't really see. I got up on some weird stand. So, bring the little mini skid. It's a new Holland LS120. It's really small. I've never had one this small. Not even close. We've always had 1845 and an 1845P and an 1845C. So, this is a real, like Kohler lawnmower engine in it. It's actually smaller than the Tucker Dent that I have out back. But, it was like brand new when I got it. It's gotten a little dirty because we've been using it. I'm going to do some maintenance up here while I have it all tore down. But we need a set of forks, and a set of forks is minimum used. I found them for something like $400. So I got that whole forklift back there for $400, and we'll take the forks here. You'll see as we go through it and recommission them. But one thing you gotta keep in mind is where this is at rest. Where you want it to make contact with the ground isn't vertical, so you can't do a 90 or whatever. And what I mean by that is, right now I have it tipped forward, so actually the fork should be pointing downwards. This piece is actually like this wide here, and here's the back of the bucket. So, yeah, what'll have to happen is it's from here to here, or combination thereof needs to be at 68 degrees, 70 degrees, right in there. It doesn't have to be exactly perfect, but right now I just try to get it close to 90 when I come off of it, So when we get out to 32 degrees this way, you can see from the bottom here, it's right about there. We're going to have a plate we'll have to make. If you look at the side of the skid load, the buckets have, the backs of the buckets that are angled. They don't run, they run like this to the bottom. So they run at an angle. They're not straight up and down. And so to compensate for that, we need this angle right here. Wherever we put our bottom mark has to be 30 degrees, 32 degrees, somewhere in there. And that way you have enough fork to go like this and push yourself up. Because, if you got them on, you get stuck, then you can use them to get out. Different things. So, what I did was, I remember I had this piece, a heavier, it's not huge, but it's heavy. It's a heavier metal tube. So, put that in, something like that. Nice slide it down so you can keep these ends are nice and have when you're using a fence on something. Let's see, now this thing's rounded in here. We could round this off a little bit, which we could do with a little heat, just little big hammers. Otherwise, I'll show you right down, and you can kind of see from the other side what's going to happen here. And I'll close this whole thing up with a bead, at least big stitches. I don't know how far apart I'll do them. But, you're meeting the contour there. I don't, if I think I see it stressing because it isn't, keeping full contact, I'll fill it in, with a big weld or something and grind it, round it out with a stone deal on the front of the die grinder quick. But I think this will be just fine for this. It's only 600 pounds, this is a lift, so we want to keep it as light as possible. So I'll just trim these short, trim them off once I get it all tacked up in good marks, and get another piece. I got to get my forks over here then, and everything's based off that top piece, and where that mounts, that'll adjust accordingly on the fronts. And then this is the pin that locks the forks on. So I'm going to take a quick break, and then I'll bring you guys back on once I get the welder set up and shit. we ended up with. I gotta do a little more grinding in there to clean it up a little. So yeah, this will sit a little tighter once I heat it up. Let it fall on there flat. But now we gotta put a piece of something, you know, like this, create a notch around here like the other ones have, and then make a hole for the pin. And yeah, so I'm gonna actually cut it out of that gray because it's a good, strong, heavy material, but you know, not too thick, not too heavy. And I'm running low on flat stock, so that's another reason why. But I'm gonna cut that with the plasma cutter quick. See you in a minute. Alright, here, I'll actually leave you up. Set you on the old Dynasty. We'll suction cup you. You can see we got it all clamped into place. Added down here this bracket L. That was what was cut off on the piece over there when I cut it with the plasma cutter and made the two side verts here. I cut the flat off here, the flat off there, and used the piece of angle to get us our pitch. We might even need just a hair more, but what I'll do there is just flip another piece of angle, you know, and let it ride on here basically, and then set the whatever it needs, you know, right here, and then wherever it lands, weld it. Put a couple little tacks in, you know, I don't know if you can see them here and here, you know, on all the pieces. I'll unclamp it now, make it nice and loose fitting. Because you know it's supposed to rest in here good and snug, but you don't want to get a bunch of shrinking when you weld and have it overly tight. So hopefully these tacks are big enough to support itself now. I'll set the camera down here and let you guys watch.
Hot up underneath the gas axe there. So you stay warm in the Minnesota here. It's like -8 with a wind chill at like -2 or something, or 22 or something. It's not too freaking bad out there. No wind, but in here it's really nice and toasty. What's that going on there? Cut that stuff there. Here's going to be the new gasket for a fork right there. Come off that son of a bitchy thing over there. I have these bastards that don't, or it's a dinosaur. I don't know if you can see it or not. There's a golf park going through. Yeah, crazy. But yeah, there's the scale. Put away big stuff, you know, we got a big scale. Get back over to the Paul Bunyan gas axes over here. Chopper. Yeah. We're going to get in there in no time. Over here's going to kind of suck. We have to get down in there and cross it through and break the free because we don't need all that extra stuff in there because we're not going up down. We're just attaching it to the bobcat. There's the bobcat over there. So that's enough for now. Talk to you till later. Gas axe. Big fan of the gas axe I am. Blasted away on that son of a gun. You know, I don't care how thick it is, we'll just cut right to it. Yep. Nope, next time right down.
That's when I'm pushing that slide backwards then?
Once you heat up the iron, just slowly turn it and it'll push it all out with that air, you know. That's why I like more air, is it blow that shit right the fuck through there. It was part of my French.
Okay. So what we're working on here, I'm not sure how good you can see it, but it's this used to be on the front of a forklift, and this was, you know, all full of heavy steel. That's what I cut off of there. With our new mini skid loader, you know, I need a pair of forks. Forks are $400. I got this whole forklift for $400, and they, you know, have all kinds of uses for it. Backup parts for our forklift. There's just a scrap steel value alone is more than that. So, you know, I figure it's a can't lose type of situation. But before cutting it apart, to lighten the weight, because obviously our mini skid loader only has a 600-pound lift. We don't want to burn any more of that up. I went ahead and welded on here. Not sure, you know, how well. So yeah, welded on that couple of pieces of 3/8 flat stock. Now I gotta clean it up here. You can see I got a white line here. This is the center line here and here. And these are the edges of where the quick attach comes in. So right there, I'd just like to clean this up a little. Since it is 1.5 inches, you can see it's pretty thick. We use the acetylene gas torch, but of course we run out of acetylene, or actually oxygen. So I had to kind of lean on the plasma cutter harder than it probably needed to be. Try to get some results. You know, we did alright, but not what I was hoping for. So we'll try to clean it up here a little more with the plasma cutter and see what we come up with. So there, got it tacked. I made sure that I lined it. The rail that matters when you're lifting is the top one that the forks lay on. And so I measured, you know, the top of my piece that the bobcat accepts, and you know, lined it up parallel to that. Parallel from this front corner to the outside of this rail, the existing rail, and then the top, you know, to this rail outside here to here. Those two are the same, so we know it's squared up in the middle. There's a few spots where, you know, it's deceiving because our cuts aren't straight or whatever, but we're going to go ahead and burn this bad boy in and try not to build up too much heat in any one area. You don't do 3-inch stitches, but I'll also, put some reinforcement between here and here. There'll be big holes drilled out of here and here, and then we may even take and drill smaller holes out, in different spots if we can. Even if it's 5 or 10 pounds, it's worth it. Just throw the mag drill on it and let it bore away on it. And then right here, there's this is where the Bobcat, the arm comes down and it actually fades back here. We may put a piece on there, and what that'll help do is when you tip the forks this way, it'll make it so the forks don't want to come off at the bottom. The pin should hold it, but it also gives some extra support because, there'll be a pinhole here and on the other side too. So I'm going to go ahead and burn some of these welds in quick so this don't move on me in. I'll leave you guys on for some of that. Try getting my other tripod working for my one deal, but it didn't mate. I got to change the end out. Oh, let me see. Can I zoom? Alright, you can kind of see there, I think you can anyways, and there's a little soot, that builds up near your start-stop marks, but hit that with a wire brush, and I think them welds are looking pretty damn good if I do say so myself. Even these little ones are got the right little flare to them, burned in on the sides where I could. Tacked this front in a few spots, so I'll flip it and do the underside too of that. But I thought I'd show you guys some welding. Sorry for the camera work. Definitely not one of my specialties. We'll work on that though. Never finished showing you the forklift thing. It turned out pretty nicely. So that goes right on the quick attach here. It's not really quick attach, but all there really is if you see way down there, right here, there's one cotter pin. I mean, it's not even worth to me to put a quick tack on there, because it doesn't fit full-size quick tack. Everything's got to be small anyways. My only concern was these right here bending, and then I put a piece on there and then it was too much. The shock wouldn't fit, so I got to make some hoops so it clearances the shock, or not the shock, the cylinder. So yeah, that's that, and then getting me some clearance on the back here. She bottoms out a lot. when I come off the curbs and stuff. So we gotta put something on there at an angle, fix that up. She don't look as new as the day we got her, does she? We put a few hours on her, we did. But it works good. I'm impressed actually with the strength of it, considering how small it is and how big the motor is. So yeah, just a little skid loader update.